Hello, scientists. So as you walk in today, you will see all this at your station. These 2 strawberries on a paper towel. That's there from the last class, left this for you. And you guys will do the same for the next class at the end of your lab. We have a big graduated cylinder, a toothpick or a long skewer, whichever one is at your station, a spoon, an orange topped measuring cup with a lid on it, and then a plastic cup, a pipette, and then a magnifying glass, and a plastic bag, and a set of directions. So if you don't have any of these things, go ahead and raise your hand and I'll grab them for you. Okay, so now we're going to read the directions as a class. And then we're going to work step by step together through the procedure of this lab. So go ahead and read that paragraph at the top right now. Great job. All right, so to get the DNA out, we are going to have to do a few things to prepare the cells. So the supplies, we have all these things. And then step 1 says obtain 2 strawberries from the teacher and place them into a small bag. So bag, strawberries, check. Okay. Now it says get 100 milliliters of the homemade extraction solution from the labeled bottle in the front of the room. The solution contains water, dish detergent, and salt. So it's not in the front of the room. There's nothing really in the front. This homemade extraction solution is actually going to be right over there on the side. So you're going to grab your graduated cylinder and you're going to walk over and measure out. Now, if you have one of these really, really big ones, the 100 line is right there. So go ahead and carefully measure out 100 milliliters of this solution. Okay. It has dish detergent in it, so it's going to bubble a little bit, but just make sure the liquid part is right at 100. No matter what size graduated cylinder you have, just make sure it's 100 milliliters. Now, whichever person in the group measured this, go back to your station. And then step 3 says pour the solution into the bag and remove as much air from it as possible, and then seal it. So go ahead and pour the contents of the graduated cylinder into the bag, get all the air out, and then seal the bag. Go ahead and do this now. Okay, so mine kind of bubbled and I kind of made a little bit of a mess. So use that paper towel to kind of clean it up a little bit. But a lot of that air is out, and that's what it should kind of look like. Now, step 4 here says put the small bag into a larger bag and then zip that too. We're going to skip that because look, we only have one bag at our station. So, step 5 on the back, flip with me. It says use your hands to mash, smash, and mush the strawberry inside the bag until there are no large pieces remaining. And the purpose of this is we are going to break up the cells so that each cell, even inside the strawberry, not just the external cells, but the internal cells too, they come in contact with this solution because we are trying to get all the DNA from these cells that we can. So go ahead and take turns very carefully to not bust open this bag. Okay? All right, if yours looks kind of like this with these small pieces, then that is a-okay. But try to get it as pulverized as you can. And just be very, very gentle, because if you bust a bag, it is a mess. So it's going to kind of look like that. So it says pour the resulting strawberry and extraction solution mixture through the sieve or filter paper and filter the pulp from the liquid. So guys, if you don't have a filter or a little strainer at your section, it's going to be at the end of your table. So you're going to have to take turns because I only have 8 of these, meaning 1 per long row. So let that group use it, and then when you get it, this is where you use the cup. You're gonna set it on top of your cup, kind of like that, and you're gonna pour the contents of the bag into that strainer. So go ahead and do that now. And then whichever group is using this, make sure you share with the people next to you. Okay, so your bag that's kind of oozing, put it on top of your paper towel to kind of keep it clean. So your solution is just kind of sitting in that filter, and it's dripping down, but all the pulp and all the tissue and the big chunks are left behind, which is perfect. Now number 7. Use the spoon to press and strain the bits of strawberry against the filter, forcing even more of the solution into the cup. So you're going to grab your spoon, whoops, and you're just going to press the solution into the filter so more comes out. So do this carefully right now. Perfect. So you can see I have pressed it all up against the filter. All right. From the cup it is currently in, I'm on step 8. Transfer the solution into the smaller cup with the orange lid. Okay. Now I have 100 milliliters of that extraction solution here, but this orange cup can only hold about 45. Okay, you don't want to fill it all the way up to 50. So pour as much of this as you can up to about the 50 milliliter mark here. So you're going to take off the orange lid. Again, pour 45 milliliters of this into this. So go ahead and do that now. So you don't have to put the lid back on because we're about to add something else to our solution here. All right, so we're on step 9. Measure, that should be out, not R. Measure out 5 milliliters of the ice cold isopropyl alcohol and suck it up into the pipette. So right over here is a blue cooler, alcohol cooler, and there is a small pipette that's going to be right next to the cooler, right here. Okay, there's going to be a couple for some groups that are coming at different times. Y'all can both be here at the same time. In the cooler is where the isopropyl alcohol, the rubbing alcohol, has to stay. It has to be ice cold for this to work. So measure here and stay right here, and then take your pipette and hold on. Okay, you know what? Scratch that. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take our pipette and our solution. Now we're going to go up to the cooler. Okay, and I'll make sure it's all cleaned off for you guys. But you're going to measure 5 milliliters of cold rubbing alcohol. Okay, you can use that to help make sure it's exact. And then we're going to pour it in here, and then we're going to take it back to our station. All right, so let me go ahead and measure out my 5. So hold on one second and I'll show you. All right. Let's get this turned so we can see. There we go. Right, and I'm about halfway there. Cool. All right, now let me make sure I'm right with my step. All right. Now we're on step 9. Measure out 5 milliliters of ice cold isopropyl alcohol into the pipette. Okay, got that. Carefully and slowly add the alcohol to the solution and hold the mixture at eye level. So guys, once you add the solution, you're gonna take it back to your group, and then you're gonna watch it. You're gonna look at it at eye level. But you don't mix it, you don't stir it. Okay, you just look at it. So there it is. And watch it from eye level. And there's going to be a little separation that happens. Right there, where the alcohol meets the pink, meets the solution. Okay, so step 11. Can you see how there is a separation of white stuff on the top of the rest of the solution? Y'all, that is the DNA of the strawberry. So all that white stuff that got separated, that is your DNA. And there's so much DNA, even in 2 small, tiny strawberries. Okay, there's so many cells because cells are so small, but all this DNA is packed into those tiny, tiny cells. So, 12, use the skewer and remove it from the solution. Okay, so you can take it out. And what I'm going to try to do tomorrow, because this is the night before the lab, what I'm going to try to do tomorrow, guys, I'm going to have some Petri dishes for you to put the DNA on, and then you can use the magnifying lens to look at it underneath the magnifying glass. So you'll take your DNA, put it in the Petri dish, and then you can use that to see it more clearly. All right. That is so crazy. So all that is DNA. And if we had a super, super strong microscope, we would be able to see it. We would be able to see the double helix that we learned about yesterday. Okay, but right now with our naked eye, it's just jumbled up like that. And it's a clear liquid that got separated once we added that rubbing alcohol. Okay. So now for cleanup, because there's a lot of cleanup that needs to happen. You don't have to do anything with the graduated cylinder. Okay, but what you're going to want to do is pour this down the drain right here. And you don't have to wipe it out or clean it out, because the same exact thing is going to go in there in the next lab. Okay? Put the spoon in the cup. Now this, you can pour down the sink as well. Okay? And again, you don't have to do any rinsing or anything there. This plastic bag will get thrown away, so I'll make a little trash pile over here. But you need to take this paper towel and this filter to the trash can and get out all of that pulp left over. Okay? What you could even do, see if this works. Yeah. You could do this at your station, and honestly, guys, that's enough. You don't even have to take it to the trash can. And then set it back here. And then wrap up all your trash. And then take all this to the trash can. Grab a paper towel, dampen it, a clean paper towel, and just wipe down your station. Okay, and if you're my last class of the day, I'll give you Clorox wipes, and we'll get out all the sticky, sugary strawberry stuff. Okay. So now I'm going to give everybody a index card. And I want you and your group to brainstorm on these 4 questions. Make sure you put your name at the top of your index card. And then turn it into me on your way out.